Yeah, all right. You see some peeps. Let's see here. All right. Welcome, welcome. Some of you I know, some of you I will get to know. Michael, what's up, dude?
Yeah, how you doing?
All right. All right. Another semester.
Here we go. It's a shame it's all online again.
I know, man, but
Mm,
it's what do we use what's the famous phrase? It is what it is, huh?
it is what it is.
All right. Some people are joining in here. Good. Shelby, all right. What's up?
What's up?
Hush. Oh, yeah, Shelby.
I'm Mike.
I hate when
It's always like
all my people
You
bailed
know, it's
out on
like-
me on my apartment.
the Brady Bunch here. I'm trying to figure out who's who. I'm trying to look up and down and around. A lot of
Oh wow. Oh.
faces. Oh, let's see here. Let's see who's joining in. We'll get the chat going.
Brady.
Mike?
Yo. Yeah, Brady's in my class. Yeah, mate. I know. Look at him. Little Brady. No, I'm not. But no, I'm speaking to the old class right now.
Getting about that time, but I'll allow some more people to trickle in here. And I'll put in some things in the chat. If you guys can get that pulled up, that'd be great. And then we'll be good to go. So the first thing, like for the first day, before we like get into everything, like try and have yourselves coming in on mute. And I don't mean to do that, like because I don't want to hear you, but it's just we're going to try to eliminate background noise. And I will try to eliminate the background noise here at my place too. I have my two doggies running around. So I'm sure they'll make an appearance at some point. So let's see, we got 23 people in here right now. I should be getting a few more here in a little bit. All kinds of stuff going on today. We got hold on one second. Let me show you another one of my friends that joins the Zoom from time to time. Oh, this is Cheryl Cat. Cheryl Cat sometimes joins the proceedings. She's a good girl.
I saw my cat Gizzy.
Hello. Hi, Cheryl.
Hell, damn, you ugly as fuck.
Oh,
Looking at you on your computer. I ain't turn my camera on.
I think that's alright. With the, what's it? RA down the hall. Rico. I think he's in my class as well. No, it just says Rico. Yeah. I don't know many Ricos.
Hey, Michael, I can still hear you.
No, sorry, dude.
No worries, man. Good. Try, like I said, try to get so we can eliminate some background noises. Try to get yourself in on mute there, and then I see some smiling faces. I guess first day of school.
What is this?
Let's see
I'm
here.
like, here I might just.
Who am I picking up some noise from?
I think is it for me?
I don't know. Maybe. Like I said, try and get yourselves into mute mode. Like I said, it'll be some things that we'll be going through from time to time this semester. We're not going to have. We won't be all. Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm getting a few messages from people like in the chat, like, do you have to have your camera up and running, or if maybe like on a bad, like for me instance, like if I were a student, I was having a bad mustache day, maybe I wouldn't turn my camera on for the day, and I would just go with with my name. But even if you do, not want to turn on your video, that's fine. Just try, and I'll put this in the chat too. Try and have like a profile picture up there, and that way, even when we don't see your face, we can kind of learn who you are. If you don't want to join with video for that day. Okay, is that cool with everybody? So can everybody? Let's just try this. Can everybody kind of hear me? Yeah.
Okay.
No? Yep. Good. Hey, all right. Thumbs up. Good. Good. It's 11:20, so we should get into a little bit of what we're going to do today. First day of the class. First of all, I am Professor Egan. You can call me, Professor Eags. You can call me kind of whatever you want. Just don't call me Mister, because Mister makes me feel old. I'm not a Mister yet. So I'm always around campus. I'm, let's see, obviously in the history department. This is one of my, let's see, 6 year full time in the history department. I went to Thomas More as an undergrad, just as you guys are. I played baseball at Thomas More, and then I did my graduate school work at the University of Cincinnati and overseas at Galway University and University College of Dublin, sometimes called Trinity. So I did a lot of graduate work overseas as well. So that's just kind of a background on me. Also, I'm the assistant coach for the softball team. So if you, I don't think, you're not allowed to, you can come up to the softball field. I don't really care. It's fine. Come up and say hi to us. I don't think we got, bans on people coming up to the softball field. Say hi. Hopefully come out to a game this spring. If we don't play games this spring, I will officially probably just cash out at that point from this world if they take away games. If they take away games again, I'm probably gonna be out of here. But I'm kidding. I kid. Some of you, like I said, some of you I know. Some of you I don't know. I'm always on campus. My office is obviously, probably everybody knows where the nurse is now. on campus because of these times that we live in. My office is just continue straight down the hallway from the nurse, and it'll be on your left there. If you come by, really kind of, I guess you can come by whenever you want. Are we allowed to do that? I know some of the rules, but I don't know some of the rules. You don't have to, you can drop by and say hi to me. You don't have to schedule a time to say hi to me. You can also, if you wanted to have a private meeting, you can we can do a private Zoom if you got questions about the course and those types of things. Perfectly fine. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm really kind of available a lot of the day. Now, normally, I would, like to try to be available during your normal business hours of, 9 to 5, but I'm flexible. I can kind of do whatever. So if you guys need to meet or need to talk and those types of things, just let me know. Okay. I'll always be there. If you guys need to get a hold of me. This week is obviously an interesting week. It's our first week. We're running this class fully online. And what I want to do is I want to try to meet 2 times a week, even though it was technically set up when a lot of you signed up for this course. You probably signed up for a Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11:15 course. What I found out last semester, and some of you were in my class with me, when we pivoted to online learning last semester, meeting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Zoom wasn't necessary. It was kind of redundant. So we didn't need to meet 3 times on Zoom per week. And we found that meeting Monday and Friday on Zoom was the best way to do it. Okay. And then throughout the week, we will work on our stuff. So basically, guys, the way that the class works is we get into some material on Monday. We talk about some things. I'll share the screen. We'll go over some things like that. Then we do our work during the week. And then on Friday, we get together and kind of have a review session, a chat session, a question and answer type thing, where we get after, what we got into during the week. If you got any questions, comments, those types of things, that's the way the class goes. Okay. So what you're seeing is, if you've gotten into the website, and I checked, one of those weird, creepy things that they provide to the professors is we can sort of see who logs in and when you log in and how long you log in for. Now, I'm not like a big proponent of looking into that because I think it's kind of creepy, to find out, did you log in? How long have you spent on my class? I'm not that guy. All right. Because some of you can get work done in 15 minutes. And some of us, like myself, I like to sort of hem and haw and procrastinate and then read it 15 times and then turn it in. So those types of, I'm one of those types of guys. So that being said, today, basically, I want to meet for about 40 minutes or so. Okay. And that's generally as long as we're going to meet, around that 45 minute barrier on Zoom. Anything longer, it's just everybody kind of gets antsy and awkward and you're off and running on other types of things. Okay. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through kind of how a week goes in our course. I'll answer some questions today. Feel free to throw in anything you got in the chat, even if you want to just, like I said, you can send it privately to me. You can send it publicly to everybody. Doesn't really matter. Okay, it's kind of up to you. All right. So right now we're good. We're about at capacity. We got 28 people in here of the 30 that we're supposed to have in here. Awesome. Okay. So, what I would normally do if we were meeting on campus is I would basically play game show host with you guys, and I would go through a question and answer with each and every one of you. And I'd find out where you are and who you are and where you're from and those types of things. But I don't want to say waste time, but I want to do that today because we need to get into some other things on our Zoom today. So one of the first things that you should have seen on the Canvas site. So I'm going to share my screen. Sometimes this works well. Sometimes it's just a complete and utter bleep show where you know, my audio gets all screwed up. All right, so please, you know, if I start, you know, looking like, you know, the robot thing like that when I'm sharing my screen, let me know. All right, and I'll come back and I'll try and fix it. So I want to try and show you our website. All right, which is right here. All right, and then this will come up, and you guys are probably used to this at this point with all of us experiencing that type of thing. Working, can you guys see that? For the most part, coming up there, should be popping up here pretty soon. Kind of give me the yes, no, maybe so. Okay, good.
Yeah, we can see it.
All right, thank you very much. So this is probably, you know, the biggest change that I've made this semester is that after, for some reason, Thomas More, you know, I'm not involved, I wasn't involved in these decisions, but we decided, you know, to kind of switch up how students receive their textbooks. And it, to me, it kind of increased some financial burden onto you guys. And so what I'm trying to do is alleviate my class taking up some of your allotted money. So what I did was I did a lot of research over the summer, and I found a really good free open source textbook, okay, that we're going to use this semester. And it's right here. And so all you got to do, if you need to, you know, download it. It's a PDF file. You just sort of put your cursor over the top of this picture. You can click on it and you can download it. Probably many of you have done that already. It's not an overly large file. If you don't want to download it to your computer or wherever, or to your phones, there is the link to the website that you can access it. If you just want to do that, is right there. Okay, so it's a free source, it's an open source. I'm a big proponent of these things. I know you guys are as well. So when we're referring to the readings and we're doing those types of things, we're going to use this text right here. Okay. What else is going on? Let me see if anybody, nobody's chatting anything. Okay, good. Any additional primary source stuff like videos and all those different types of things, I'll provide those as well via the Canvas website. If you're new to TM and Canvas, I do provide a Canvas walkthrough video here, okay? But this video, what we're doing right now on the Zoom, is kind of also sufficing for the Canvas walkthrough as well. All right, and I'm going to stop sharing here for a sec so I can see some people's faces and let you know what I got going on. So one of the things, guys, about Canvas and about Thomas More this semester is that I'm going to be posting everything via the learning modules. Okay, and then you can sort of work your way through them. See, one of the things is I'm not going to run this like I do, like there's other online courses that are accelerated, and basically what you do is you just throw up the whole week's worth of stuff on a Sunday night, and then people can either Zoom through it on Monday, or they can sort of take their time meandering their way through it. The way that I want to work this course this semester is I will put stuff up, you know, usually on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Okay, just kind of like I want to try and create a very similar situation as to if we were actually just meeting in a classroom at Thomas More every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, so you won't be hearing from me a lot content-wise on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You'll hear from me on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I'm grading something, you know, and I throw in, you know, an email or I put up the rubric, you know, if we're looking at, you know, one of your assignments, sure. But as far as like, you know, this is due and try and read this, you won't hear from me much on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, just like you wouldn't if we were taking a class on campus. Okay, so that's the big thing about how this class is going to work. This is very much I'm trying my hardest. Now, one of the things is I wanted to be, I would have loved to have run this course face to face on campus. But one of the things is that I was deemed by the school and by the awesome students who took my class to be kind of pretty decent at doing this Zoom thing. If some of you have had my class before, that's fine. All right, maybe yes or no. I'm trying to pat myself on the back, but not fully pat myself on the back. But they asked me, because other people aren't so good, I guess, at the Zoom class. They're like, can you run all your classes online? I was like, okay, fine. I'll do it this semester, but this, come January, I need to, I want to have some face-to-face interactions with everybody. But like I said, I'll be on campus all the time. If you want to come say hi to me, come on over. So let's go back and I'll share the screen again. We'll look at our class website. Okay. So the big thing is, if we're looking at the class website, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. The big button that you want to use to kind of get into all the material, there's two ways that you can do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do up here is I'm going to click on this button called that I have that you guys don't have. This button, it's called Student View. All right, so this is what you guys are going to see. This is what shows up to you on the website as far as Student View. There's two ways to get into the material if you're new to Canvas, right? The two best ways to get into the material. All right, and we'll let this work up here. So one of the ways to get in, okay, is to go over here and to the left and see this tab over here and just click on modules. All right, that is one of the ways to access all the material of the course. All right, the other way is to scroll down to the bottom of this page like we looked at before and click begin the course. Okay, so if you're looking over here and you want to get into the course, all right, you click on that modules button and that'll take you essentially into what we're doing for the week. Okay, is everybody kind of clear on this, somewhat clear on this? Good to go. Okay. Yeah, I went through the roster. We have, sometimes, I'll reload that. Sometimes people are new to Canvas. Some of you guys, this is, kind of going over stuff that you already know, but it's okay. It works for everybody. So we'll look at basically when you click on that modules, and many of you have done that already, what you're going to see is in lieu of us sitting here and trying to figure out who each of us are via the Zoom, which would take forever, one of the things that you have up and running for this week is a real easy 25-point introducing yourself to the course post. Okay. Does everybody kind of see that up here now? All right, that's easy to click on. All right, it's self-explanatory. Basically, what I want you guys to do is be honest, be open. One of the questions is, what's one thing that you would want everybody in this class to know about you? All right, so what's something that defines you? Is it, is it a music that you like to listen to? Is it, a sport that you play? Is it anything really? What's something that defines you that you would want people to know? Okay. That's in that forum reaction. That, guys, and I'm going to stop sharing right now, that is the easiest 25 points you're going to get, in probably any class this semester. All right. All I'm asking for is a couple answers to some honest questions on, do you have any goals this semester? All right. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. All right. Maybe your answer is no, I don't really have any goals. I'm just sort of going to try and ride this wave out and see what the hell happens. All right. That's fine too. Okay. But we'll get some answers going. And that should be a real easy, 25. Also, guys, one of the things that you're going to see, and I haven't published the syllabus yet because I didn't want you to dive into the syllabus this morning and get all riled up about things that are going on with the class. I just wanted to talk to you first, and then I'll publish the syllabus here once the class ends. One of the big things, about this course is that there's going to be points kind of all over the place, and you're going to have the ability to. I don't give out extra credit, but you can ask people that have taken my course before, all right, and even people in this class that have taken my 102 last spring. I'm more than happy to give, if something's worth 25 points, I'm more than happy to give you 26, 27, 28, 29 points out of 25. Okay, does that make sense? That's how I award extra credit. If you do work that is over and above the call of duty on these things, okay, I am more than happy to give you bonus points. Okay, and the way that those work is then people who do really good work on, the forum posts, and you interact with your classmates and you do those types of things, then what you do is when we come to testing and taking the quizzes and the tests, it's okay if you miss a question here or there because you kind of built up a bank of points by doing really good work on the other stuff. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's how we're going to kind of work on those. I'll talk more about the other stuff that's due here in a minute, but I guess, 10 minutes, about 12 minutes in here. Will you guys, if anybody has any questions, throw them into the chat, okay, about the course and about other types of things. But if not, I'll just kind of continue, but I'll see if anybody's got any questions right now. Nothing. All right, great. Do you guys have good summers at all? Anybody have good summer? Is it a good summer?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a good summer. Okay. All right. Let's see. What did I do this summer? My wife and I, in May, as soon as the school year ended, we bought you guys know where Norris Lake is down in Tennessee? If anybody knows where Norris Lake is down in Tennessee, we spent most of the summer down there at the lake. So that was a nice way to kind of get the hell away from people, is just go to the lake, go out on the water, and, what were you saying? Was that Katie? What were you saying there?
I said I worked overtime all summer.
You worked overtime all summer. Good for you. Good
Yeah.
for you. Where do you work at?
An assisted living
Oh,
right across the street from Thomas More.
all right. Good stuff. Man, all right. Everybody does such cool things.
You think they're cool.
Yeah, I hope they're cool. You can make anything cool if you try.
Touche.
So, Michael, you still over in the UK? How's that going?
No, I'm actually back at Thomas More in the
You're at Thomas More?
the dorms in a minute. Yeah.
How are you? Soccer. What are you guys gonna do? Like, what's happening?
So, our season's been moved over to the spring, as of like most of the sports.
Right.
And so, yeah, we've got certain guidelines and things that we need to follow for this semester. But
Okay.
no, I'm excited to be back. It's nice. But yeah, I spent most of the summer with my family.
Good.
Locked away and saw a couple of my mates, but that's about it.
Awesome. Good.
So,
I'll be real interested to hear from everybody. Like I said, on your forum post, and also one of those other things that I would love to, if possible, you can make a video and have that as your forum post. That's perfectly fine to do that. I'm actually on this forum post. That would be even kind of encouraged. instead of, if you don't feel like writing one out, take a video of yourself, record a Zoom or whatever you want to do. Throw that in as your forum post. That way people can, see your face, hear your voice, those types of things. Perfectly acceptable. All right. So what else is going on? We got about, like I said, we'll hang out here for maybe about 10 more minutes or so on this first day. And then we'll talk about what we want to do for this week and for the rest of the semester. I guess, all right, let's talk about, how's the class going to work? What are, due dates and those types of things? Are there tests? What are the quizzes like? Those types of things. Okay, fine. All right. So because the semester is kind of condensed in, and we're basically going to be done meeting on Thanksgiving. That Thanksgiving Wednesday is the last day of classes. And then we do exam week after that. I'm not going to have a midterm that everybody has. We have to put in midterm grades in October. Okay, but basically what I do with this course, we're going to have throughout the semester there'll be kind of 4 tests / quizzes that'll be fully online, obviously, as this class is. Each one of those will be worth 50 points, and those will be sprinkled throughout the material. Okay. Some of the other things that we'll do, okay, we're going to have 6 forum discussions, okay, and those are going to be worth anywhere between 25 and 30 points apiece. Okay. This first one, obviously, is the easiest one. It's the one where you are going to be introducing yourself. The rest of them are going to be things like, one of the ones that we do is we watch a lot of videos. I put up a lot of videos and then you guys react to them. So one of them is we watch, inventions that the Romans came up with. Okay, things like, how the Romans invented, bathing complexes, and were able to have pipes that we understand as pipes, where they were able to increase water pressure and have flowing, running water like we encounter in the shower. But this was 2,000 years ago that they were basically doing it. All right. So we go over a video of how the Romans did it, and how they had fountains and running drinking water and that throughout their city. It's a really cool video. Maybe you guys will like it, maybe you won't. Those types of things, and then you react to it. All right. So we will look at those types of things. I'm not a big paper guy, so we don't have like a big final paper or anything like that. Basically, what I do is we're going to have. One of the things that I do is I'll have this thing in the syllabus. They're called CPAs. All right, and basically what that stands for is like are you prepared for class type of activity? Okay, and it's really easy. 1 or 2 questions that you send to me before class starts, usually for the week. Okay. I'll explain these. They'll make much more sense, when we're going through and reading through the syllabus. And if you have questions on them, let me know. But those are worth 100 points total throughout the semester. And a lot of you have had me before. When those get factored in at the end of the semester, it's like a awesome, golden parachute that kind of comes in to rescue you if you're kind of struggling. All right, and all you got to do is just answer those 1 to 2 questions that we throw out there on the CPAs and send them to me on an email, and then we use those as our discussions. We use those as ways to get ready to talk about the material. All right, so that's real easy, 100 points there. So what you guys are going to see is there's multiple ways to score well in this course. Okay. This is not a difficult course. I'm going to just throw that out there right now. I know a lot of professors like to, you know, try and get all tough and scary on the first day, and we had a couple of professors this summer that were like, I don't give out A's in my class. You have to really, and I was like, Jesus, all right, whatever, dude. Like, I love to give out A's. Okay. I don't care if everybody in here gets an A. Awesome. Okay. This is not a difficult class. It's a history 101. Okay. If you love history and you get into it, and then we get a little bit further up. Now, guys, when you get to juniors and senior level, yeah, some of those classes, they should start to be hard. Okay. But this class is a class that meets 2 times a week on Zoom. Okay. You do your work throughout the week. You crush those easy form discussions. All right, we got some quizzes and tests, and we got some CPAs, and by the end of the semester, you should be able to rock this course out pretty good. Okay, does that make sense? I don't want, this course should not be one that you should be, worrying about as some sort of anchor, that's like, oh God, I didn't have that class, that's not the point of this class. The point of this class is to hopefully make you appreciate history. Something happened over the last 6 months. A lot of things happened over the last 6 months. But one of them was where people started to get mad at history, I guess. And I don't see that as helpful. What we need to realize is that there's things that we can learn from history, and there's good and there's bad. And sometimes there's a lot more bad than good, but there's things that we can learn. All right. And so one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to look at major cultures. And you're probably like, oh, come on, dude. Like, thinking about something 2,000 years ago is not interesting to me. Okay. I'm going to try, though. And all I ask from you guys, from the 30 people who are in here, all I'm asking for you is that you give it a shot. Okay? Just kind of give it a fair shot to be interesting. Okay? So, for instance, we're going to focus a lot on kind of 3 big cultures from the ancient world: the Egyptians, the Greeks, and the Romans. We're going to do a lot of stuff with the Egyptians and the Greeks and the Romans. And hopefully what you'll see is that stuff that the Egyptians came up with, and stuff that the Greeks came up with, and stuff that the Romans came up with, is stuff that kind of affects you on a daily basis, when you're going to go through your life. All right. It affects the language that you speak. It affects all kinds of things. Okay. So, the type of government you live in, all right, is definitely been affected by people who lived 2,000 years ago. So I know it's hard. For most people, their appreciation of history starts at their birthday, when they were born, all right? And you're sort of like, I don't care, what happened before, 19, the hell are you guys born? 19 or 2001? Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Wow. I don't care. Anything that happened before the year 2000, I don't care about it. Okay. I hope that you would try and see how these people affect all of us on a, like I said, on a personal level. If you do give that a shot, that'd be awesome. All right. And see if that works. So I'm not seeing too many things up in the chat, and it's first day. And we're kind of looking at this. So last thing I want to do is I want to share my screen for a few minutes, and I want to look at some big dates for this semester. Okay, there's a thing called the academic calendar. Okay, and this will pop up on your screens here in a minute. And I want to look at some big dates on the academic calendar. So can I get, when this pops up on your guys' screen, can I get some thumbs up when it's there? All right. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much. So here's the big thing. So today, obviously, we got August 17th. This is what we're doing today. All right. What are we going to do? Are we going to meet on Labor Day, September 7th? No, we're not going to meet on a Zoom that day because the rest of the school isn't meeting on that day. So what you're going to see is that this class is going to ebb and flow just as the university schedule does. All right. Some of the other big dates that you'll see here is you'll see, midterm grades will come in the middle of October. We'll talk more about midterms there. I don't have a specific midterm test or exam that I give you guys, okay? And I don't necessarily, I'll explain my hatred of midterm grades later as we go into it. I think they're some of the most useless things that happen out there in midterm grades. Just as anybody who's ever played sports will tell you, the most useless score is the halftime score of a game. And it's just pointless, unless it's just a reflection of kind of where you are at that point. Obviously, if your first 2 months on campus, if you're going to just go out, and party it up all the time, then obviously, yeah, your midterms are going to reflect that. But we'll talk more about midterms as they come in. And then you'll see here, guys, our semester will end that week of November 30th to December 3rd. That's when the online final exams will be. And even if your class is meeting in person, and I'll stop sharing there, and then we'll wrap up for the day. Even if your class is meeting in person, you're going to have an online exam with that class. My quizzes and tests and the online exam, I basically allow you to turn those in. So for instance, if we have a quiz or test number 1 that's going to come up in a couple of weeks, I'm not just going to make it available like on a Friday and you have to take it at 11:15 on that Friday. I'll publish that test during the week, and I'll give you basically the whole week to work on it. Now, you can't have it open to work on for a whole week. It's obviously going to be timed. Does that make sense? All right, the test is going to be timed, but you can, if I publish the test on a Monday, I'll say, make sure that you have this quiz in by Sunday night. Okay. And then you can take that quiz whenever the heck you want throughout the week. Okay. And that's how the final exam will go. The final exam will be up and ready for you to work on that Monday, November the 30th, and you can take it whenever you want during exam week. Okay. So I'm not that guy that's like, you're going to specifically carve out time for my class on that day. I'm not that guy. Okay. And then last but not leastly, the thing I want to talk about, and I'll put this into the chat here is, what do I do as far as Zoom attendance? Like, what if I can't make one of the classes? What if I can't get in here on Friday, or I can't make it on that Monday? What happens? Okay. One of the things that I'm doing this semester that's different, okay, is I'm going to have kind of a Zoom attendance. It's not going to be a grade. It's going to be kind of bonus points. Okay. It'll be a Zoom attendance bonus point parachute for you as well. Okay. And I'm going to have that be worth a potential 50 points for you guys. Okay. And what that is going to be is, obviously, these are recorded sessions. And what I do is I put each and every one of these sessions up on our Canvas website. So if you need to review it when we go over notes, or if you miss something and want to look at it again, it's up there and it'll be published and you can access it whenever you want. Okay, so all of these sessions are recorded, okay, for you to view if you aren't able to meet in person on that day. Okay, so you're not going to be completely lost if you can't make it that day. But I want everybody to try to be in here Mondays and Fridays at 11:15 for a little bit of time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a Zoom attendance point situation where it'll be, if you can be in here on Mondays and Fridays, at the end of the semester, you'll have a sweet 50 points, 45 points, depending on how many times you come in. That'll be flying into to add to your points at the end of the semester. Is that cool? Okay. So I'm going to create some incentive to be in here 2 times a week on the Zoom. And you can join in. And like I said, if you do happen to not be available that day, no biggie. Try and send me a message on email or on Canvas. Hey, Prof, not going to be there today. I don't know. Say something's going on. Okay, I'm cool. I live in the real world. I understand that. All right. And what I want you guys to realize is don't panic. Don't worry. The class is always recorded and it will be up on the website later that day for you to look at if you need to hit it up again. Does that make sense? Okay. So everything here is going to be kind of real easy for you to access whenever you want. All right. So that's it for the first day. We're easing our way in. Like I said, like I always say, man, classes and semesters, you got to kind of ease your way in like a hot tub that's a little too hot, if you know what I mean. We've all been in those hot tubs where you dip your foot in and you're like, oh, that's a little hot. I'm not going to get all the way in there just yet. All right. And that's the way that we're going to get into this semester. We're going to dip our toes in. It's a little hot right now. We're all not, I as well as you guys, I'm not ready for this semester to begin. I'm ready. I got all my stuff ready, but mentally I'm not ready. What the hell are we doing here? It's just, where did my summer go? What happened? Weren't we just doing this? I'm going to ask Bish, right? Hannah Bishop's, weren't we just doing this? I feel like we were just doing this. Yeah?
Yeah, I feel the same way.
What the hell happened? I don't know. I guess it's like when you're locked indoors and you can't go anywhere, and I can't really guess you can do anything. I don't know. But guys, I want us to, like I said, 2 times a week, come in here, try to make this a fun place to be for 40, 45 minutes twice a week. Okay. We'll have, I'll be real interested and looking forward to what you guys say on your intro posts. And later like I said, later today, syllabus will be published. Some things. So I guess one last question before we get out of here is what happens on Wednesdays? Okay, so what will happen on Wednesdays? And this will be the last thing we'll talk about. So on Wednesdays, guys, those will be the days where I'll be publishing a lot of the notes and stuff that we should be getting into as far as reading and those types of things. How do the notes work? All right, basically what I do is I do video walkthroughs of the PowerPoints. Okay, so I got PowerPoint notes about all these subjects and I walk through them video wise. Instead of doing it with you here in person, okay, I just do it on a video that you can download, and I'm going to publish those most often on Wednesdays. Okay, so you'll have PowerPoints and PowerPoint walkthroughs and stuff throughout the week that you can get the notes that way. Okay, so as far as class, one of the actual being in class, those are going to be kind of our Mondays and Wednesday sessions. Remember, we're not meeting on Wednesday. And then on Fridays, that's when we get back together and we go over, usually most often, those CPA questions that I'm going to give you guys, where it's one of them is going to be, we're going to look at some Roman laws, for instance. And one of the Roman laws is women are not allowed to cry at funerals. Okay, that was an actual Roman law. That was one of the original Roman laws was women, no crying at funerals. All right, because we are the Romans and we are tough and we don't cry, not even the women at funerals. So if you cry, we got problems. And people always have general reactions to that one. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you're not allowed to cry at a funeral? No, you're not, because we're the Romans and we're stoic and we're tough. All right, we don't cry. So, it's a very interesting things that we're going to go over during the week. And that's going to be, one of the things that we look at. Will be another one. I ask you, like, what's going to be your favorite Egyptian god that we look at? I'm a big religion and God person. Okay, so we're going to go over like a lot of religious things, like what did these people believe? And the Egyptians believed in a god. His name was Ammit. The god was 1/3 crocodile, 1/3 hippopotamus, and 1/3 lion. So it was a hippopotalion, I think was how it would be pronounced. And what they did is the Egyptians created the 3 deadliest animals in their environment, a crocodile, a hippopotamus, and a lion. And they smushed it into one god. And this was the god that was like the scariest thing. You didn't ever want to encounter this god. He would eat your soul, that type of thing. And so I ask you, like, that's a pretty cool god, right? And maybe you guys, maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Okay. Those are the kind of questions that we go over during the week. So it's not a lot of, this is like a history class that this is not one of those history classes that, it's like, tell me the date of this battle, do it now. And if you don't tell me the date, you're wrong. I hate those classes. Like, all right, so this is not gonna be that kind of class. All right, at all. All right, this is a class where I'm gonna be like, what do you guys think about this, Greek law, or why did the Greeks believe that Zeus threw lightning bolts at people? Okay, so just stuff like that. Okay, it's going to be one of those classes where hopefully you're going to enjoy the experience, and then at the end get a little something out of it. Okay, so expect, like I said, stuff to be published throughout this week on Canvas. Constantly check in. Don't constantly check it, but every once in a while, log into Canvas, check your modules, see if anything's been thrown up there, and kind of work your way through the course this week. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me Canvas messages or emails. All right. Don't worry about anything. This whole thing will make sense as we get through this week. All right. And we will work together to get it done. All right. I am in the same boat as you guys, man. We're all kind of experiencing this thing together. Okay. So no worries on anything. Got any questions, let me know. Okay. This video, this whole thing, if you need to watch it again, we're going to I'm going to put this up on the website later too. Okay. So next time I'll see you. Yeah. Cam?
So as of now, is there anything that's due Friday before class starts?
This Friday? No. The only thing, guys, that I'm having due this week, okay, the only thing that's going to be due this week is your introduction. Okay.
Okay.
And if you check the dates on that, okay, your intro post is due by class next Monday, which is at 11:15 on August 24th. Okay.
I have another question.
Yeah, Connor, go ahead.
So, for turning it in, do we just press reply and then reply it through the same, like where the directions are? Then we press reply. Is that where you turn it in?
Yeah. The biggest thing that I will advise you guys when doing forum post replies is if you're going to write it out, which most of these are going to be written out, write it out either in, if you have depending on what you have, if you have pages or if you have Word, okay, guys, write it out in a separate document first, okay, then either click and paste or copy it in there to the reply. Because I've had a lot of students over the last couple of years when we've done these forum posts, they'll click reply, they'll write this awesome reply, that, be something Thomas Jefferson would be proud of, they get down to, it's 2,000 words long. And then they click they click the reply. And the problem is with some of Thomas More's stuff and just some of technological stuff in general is by that time, the link that you opened when you click reply has timed out. And so when you click reply, and we've all probably experienced this, it just goes like, it just goes off into the freaking ether and it's gone. You're like, well, where the hell did that go? And it didn't reply. And then it comes back and it says, sorry, this web page is timed out or whatever. Okay. So yes, to answer your question, Connor, you click reply, but don't try and sit there and type something out for 15, 20 minutes right there. I mean, try and do it in a separate document and then either throw it in, click and paste, or post it that way. Does that make sense?
And do you want us to do like a Mla format or no?
Okay. So format, guys, I'm not a stickler on that at all.
Okay.
So whatever you are comfortable with from either high school or your experiences so far at the university level is fine with me. If you want to cite things, MLA is fine with me. APA, if you're in the sciences. History people, I don't know if I have any history majors in here. All right, history majors use Chicago Manual of Style. I don't know why. We're weird. All right. Doesn't matter. Okay. But obviously, when you do your forum replies, everybody's going to see them. They're public. So what I would ask you to do is make sure that they look and sound good. Have somebody look over them first. Okay. Because you don't want to put something out there with, bad misspellings or no capitalizations or, you know what I mean? Okay. So make sure you guys are proofreading these things before you publish them in front of everyone. And, not that I'm saying people are going to sit there and judge you and be like, oh, his or her grammar is making me want to throw up my coffee. All right. No, it's not like that. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is put the best version of yourself out there when you do those posts. Is that cool? Good. Okay. Any other questions anybody has as far as? Yeah.
Do all private meetings have to be Zoom meetings over the internet, or can we have in-person ones even though the class is fully online?
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. You can, if you're going to be on campus, and I'm going to put that in here, you can absolutely schedule meetings in person with your friendly professor on campus, okay, which would be me. All right, you absolutely can schedule those on campus. If you can be like, hey, Egan, I'm going to be on campus on Wednesday. Can we get together? Absolutely. Like I said, friends, I'm going to be on campus even though this class is online, I'm on campus all the time. All right. For sports and for all kinds of other things. Okay. So, absolutely we can meet in person. Yeah. 100%. And it's kind of whatever you're comfy with. Is that helpful? Good. Okay, great. Anything else? Don't see anything else in the chat other than yes. Guys, the only thing due this week is 25-point intro post, and it's due before class next Monday. Is that cool? And then, like I said, throughout this week, today, Wednesday, you'll get the link to our Zoom meeting on Friday sent out to you. Okay. Always be using your Thomas More email, because when I send out announcements, they go to your Thomas More email. Okay. Or if you link something else to your Thomas More email from there, that's fine. Okay. But I'll put the links to our meetings in announcements, and I'm going to put them in the modules as well. Okay. So there'll be 2 places where you can get the links to our Zoom meetings, the invitations. All right. Good to go. So I will see you guys at 11:15 in this very same lovely Zoom room on Friday. And we'll just, like I said, just start moving through some material this week with that free text that we got. And we'll talk about it, and we'll talk about our first experience through the week on Friday. Okay, so really nothing to bring, I guess, to Friday's course except yourselves and some questions and some comments about the material we'll be going over this week. Is that cool with everybody?
Cool.
Awesome. Great. Well, until then, my friends, I will say cheers, and I'll see you on Friday.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
All right.